Hey everybody.
Hey everyone.
Welcome to It's Black.
Absolutely. Happy New Year as well.
Yeah.
This is the New Year issue of Pitch Black magazine. Can you imagine? New Year already.
So Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's, International Women's Day, Mother's Day. That's the season we're in.
Absolutely.
I get to wear my sparkly top.
There you go. And this season, this new quarter, this new year, we want to represent. And so this, of course, is celebrating our sisters issue. And we have got an absolute treat for you. You may know her as Fiona Wilson. You may know her as Hattie Tavernier. You may even know her as Hermione. However, her real name, her birth name, her government name, however you want to call it, is Michelle Gayle. So we've got Michelle Gayle with us. Welcome, Michelle. How are you?
Michelle.
Hey, thank you for having me. How are you?
It's a pleasure. Our pleasure.
It is so good to see you, Michelle, because, of course, we grew up with you. We grew up watching you on Grange Hill. We grew up watching you on EastEnders, and we grew up, some of us are now watching you as Hermione. You are just a multi-talented person. You are the mother of two boys, Isaiah and Luke, and also a foster son, also called Isaiah. You're an actress, you're a singer, you're a stage performer, and you do so many things.
And an author.
And an author. We'll talk about that as well. So welcome, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. I went to Christmas party last night, so I'd say I'm good.
Okay.
Leave it there. Just leave it there.
I'm kind of thinking we shouldn't say anything more about that.
Yeah.
Okay. God.
But the party was good.
It was a good work Christmas party. Very good.
Very nice.
Good. Well, fantastic. It's such a delight to have you. And we just wanted to kind of chat with you. Judy and I have been absolutely gassed preparing for this interview because you're someone we grew up with, we look up to, we celebrate, we cheer on, and you are just an icon, Michelle Gayle. I don't know if you know that.
One thing to say thank you. I mean, very kind. It's not how I see myself. It's probably good that I don't see myself like that. But it's really, at the same point, like it's really nice to hear that from people in the community who've seen me, on TV for a long time, and you realise how important it is to represent people.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, first of all, tell us where it all started. What was your early life like? I know you grew up in Northwest London, so tell us about that.
I was brought up in Harlesden, Northwest 10.
Okay.
Small group of roads. My road was Bruce Road. Around the corner from me, believe it or not, lived General Levy.
Okay, incredible.
We were best friends. So at 5 years old, General Levy was incredible. He was my best friend when we were 5. We was in school together. We were the best of friends. I mean, we still speak to each other now, but we were like tight, like best friends.
Graduate.
So it was a group of roads that were mainly West Indian, Indian, Irish or African. There was literally, I think I only remember 1 or 2 English people on the road, and everyone was either Irish or an immigration, a child of an immigrant. So we learned a lot about each other's culture very, very early on. And you had to speak a bit of Gujarati, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everyone would teach you bits of their culture. So it was really weird when we stepped out of that kind of enclave into the real world, realizing that people can hate each other's cultures because we'd always embraced each other's cultures.
Wow. Okay.
And in terms of stepping out, why the step out? Why the move away from that where you
What happened to me is that I was going to the local school until I was 7 or 8, and the behavior wasn't great. just in general, from all the kids, but I definitely participated in that. Like, if you're going to do something, do it well, right? So for me, the way to establish yourself in school, you have to be the strongest girl, you have to prove it, you have to fight. You staged arrange fights, like, let's prove who the strongest girl is this week. And I used to partake in that, and try and establish myself as being the main girl. It sounds ridiculous now because people are like, you, Michelle, but it just shows that when you're in an environment and you want to excel in that environment, you take on the skills that are needed to excel in it.
Absolutely.
And so my headmistress of the school, I'd been moved up a year, so academically I was doing really well. So the headmistress of the school went to my mum and dad's house and just said, I advise you to take Michelle out of the school. This is not the right place for her. It's not the right environment. And my parents listened. So at 8, I moved from my local school in Holston, which is all I really knew, to be honest, to a stage school. I mean, you couldn't get more different, like a private stage school in East Acton. And I used to travel by bus there, and it was a completely different environment. I was used to being in a 90% black and brown environment before in my private school. And then this was a school where I was the only black girl in my class.
Wow.
One of the early games I remember being was the song Brown Girl in a Ring was out. And they said, you could be the brown girl in the ring.
Oh, bless. Wow.
Okay.
Really kind of you. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that was, of course. Sorry, Michelle.
So it's a completely different change of environment, like a real culture shock. Yeah, real culture shock.
Wow.
And that was, of course, the Barbara Speaks stage school.
That's Barbara Speaks stage school, which we did end up. Black and brown children did end up gravitating towards each other. So I became best friends with Naomi Campbell and Amara Sante, who went there, and another girl called Alison who went there.
Okay.
And Kwame Kweyama went there, but he was older than us, and Paul Medford. So there were very few black children there, but we all gravitated towards each other. We all encouraged each other. And it's funny enough, nearly, the majority of black children that were there at that point are still in the industry now. So something really helped us to think that we can do it. And then maybe it was the change of environment, having to survive, being strong enough to survive this kind of world quite early on. Maybe that gave us the tenacity to keep going in the adult world.
Okay, good.
Wow. So from the stage school experience, how did that differ to your previous primary school experience? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you want to be there in terms of the acting, or was it just because of this move?
I absolutely loved it because I didn't have to fight. I didn't have to fight to prove myself. Actually, all I had to do was perform really well. What they really encouraged at my school was individuality. So they never tried to put you in a box. It was always like, oh, that's just your thing. That's just how you are. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, no one tried to change how you are, but obviously you had to behave. As long as you behaved, you could sing and dance and as much as you liked. And I just thought, I like this. There's no pressure other than to perform. Which sounds weird because someone else would find it quite a pressurizing environment. Yeah. But that's, to me, that beats having to fight. Do you know what I mean? So it's where you come from originally that sets the tone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to me, it was like, right, I can really get my head down. I like working. I like books. I like writing. That was genuine. So I knew I could get my work done. And I'll get prizes for it. What's not to like? And then I can get to sing and dance. Like, what's not to like? So I loved it. We used to go to school an hour early. just to hang
Oh,
out.
wow.
Wow.
I mean, we still talk about our school days and go, we absolutely loved that school. Now, there were things that weren't right about the school, but we weren't treated like kids. We were treated like adults, and we were like very independent. We just loved it. We're a bit wild. But it wasn't, you weren't getting in trouble for being wild. It was just weird. You were just like adults, but in these baby bodies.
So, Michelle, was the performance side there before you went to the stage school then? Because it sounds like you've come in and you've just fit. You know, you're in your element, and so then you've not experienced that as a pressure to perform. So how was that working out at your previous school?
So that's what happened, and that's what my headmistress had noted is I used to always perform anyway, like just in the park. We used to do performances at Barham Park, and my mum used to arrange me dancing. They've got pictures of me dancing in a park with adults around me when I was 2. Like, I was just a total like ham. Like just you know, you didn't have to.
You're wired for this.
You know, like some parents kids have to bribe them to perform. You never had to do that with me. It's just in my bones to perform, and that's what the headmistress had said. It's like, look, she loves performing. Send her to school like that, then she's getting that bit satiated, and she's good at academia too, and she'll be happier. And they were right. My headmistress was right, and I really respect my parents for listening to her, because it wasn't hard to pay school fees. It was hard, to pay school fees. It wasn't easy to go, we're going to send this child to private school. But they listened and they did it.
Brilliant.
By the time I was 14, though, I was getting jobs and I was paying my own school fees. It just went from one to the other. Yeah.
Yeah.